What's up, guys? It's your boy Mop Top back at it again. In case you haven't seen it, this is our tutorial series called Break It Down. In this playlist, we're going over the best practices for your next interview to make sure you're prepped. On this episode, we're going to teach you how to prepare yourself and your guests for the next on-camera performance. Let's break it down. What's up, guys? Today on this episode, we're going to talk about the best interview techniques. I'm here with my man Kuji. Woo! I think the best thing about setting yourself up for an interview is making sure that your talent is prepared before they walk in the door. And this really starts with giving your client or the guest, whoever you're interviewing, real good information about the topics you're going to be discussing, where the interview will take place, and as much information so that when they walk in, they start to feel comfortable. The next step is to make sure when they walk in the door that you make them feel as comfortable as possible. Whether you're walking into a set or some sort of other corporate environment, it's very easy to forget that it might be a little uncomfortable for people who aren't on camera very often to feel a little bit out of sorts when they walk into a shoot. All the lights, microphone, crew. My whole thing is to try to make them feel as comfortable as I can when they walk in the door. Part of prepping your guests for an interview is when they walk in the door is making sure that you refamiliarize them with the discussion points about what we're going to be talking about. Today, we're going to be talking to Kuji about food. I want to make sure that he feels comfortable about all the discussion points we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite foods. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite cooking techniques. I think we should even toss in some stuff about juicing because we know that you're the pro juicer. So once I know that they're comfortable, I'll go ahead and slowly move them on camera. And a lot of times I try to make my guest forget that they're on camera. I'll start off with some really basic questions to get them comfortable. Hey Kuji, how was your day today? Cool. Yeah? You found the studio all right?
Yeah, it was a little difficult, but I found it, yeah.
Nice, nice. You've come up with any new recipes recently?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah? You excited about the interview?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
So with this, you can kind of see I'm trying to get him comfortable about being on set. One important thing is to make sure that you ask questions in the right way. Now there's two ways to ask questions, right? There's one that's yes or no questions. Those questions tend not to be good for interviews because you're not really able to pull the most out of your talent. You want to try to ask them questions that force them to reiterate the question within their answer. So I wouldn't ask a question, for example, like, hey Kuji, do you like cooking? But I might ask Kuji a question like, hey Kuji, what's your favorite type of thing to cook?
Curry.
Yeah? Well, thanks a lot for that. If Kuji was to go ahead and give me an answer like that, I would go ahead and I'd stop the interview and I'd be like, hey Kuji, would you mind reiterating the question within your answer? Hey Kuji, what's your favorite type of food to cook?
Well, some of my favorite types of food to cook are curries, salads, and stews.
Nice. You see, with that, it's also very critical to remember to not stop your talent too many times on camera. It's best to let the whole takes go out and then to slowly give them critiques towards the end of the shoot. If you start to stop the interview too many times and give too much constructive criticism, it's very easy for them to become very shy on camera and start to really look at the cameras again. Our whole goal here is to make it feel like we're having a conversation. There's no one else in the room, no cameras or anything else. So Kuji, that's really cool. How did you learn how to start cooking?
Well, I learned from my grandma growing up, yeah.
Nice. That was really good, but I want to make sure that we get the best performance possible out of you. Would you mind just kind of like sitting up a little bit straighter for me?
Sure.
Yeah. Awesome, man. That's great. Let's try that again, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. See, this was a good way for me to give constructive criticism to Kuji while telling him that the answer was really good, but also telling him that I want to make sure he gets the best possible outcome of this interview. If he's being interviewed, he wants to make sure he looks good as well, right? Another way to conduct an interview would be to do it off camera. Now when I'm doing that, I'm going to want to tell Kuji where to look. A lot of times it can be intimidating for somebody to look right into the camera. A lot of times I tell them to kind of look at me, the interviewer. I'll try to stand as close as possible to the camera so that it's still within the eye line and it looks natural, but I won't tell them to look directly in the lens. So I'd be like, hey Kuji, look at me real quick. All right, we're going to start conducting this interview. And as you answer, feel free to answer your questions directed towards me instead of the camera. So Kuji, tell me about the different types of curry you cook.
The main type of curry I cook would be like a yellow curry. It's the main type I usually cook, and that's usually like the yellow curry, I'll make a stew with it.
Nice, like you can see, that looks very natural. However, it's not as intimidating as the subject looking directly into the camera. Now we'll go ahead and we'll give you an example of how it looks for the subject to be looking directly into the camera. A lot of times this can be jarring, not only for the guests, but also for the audience. Hey, Kuji, go ahead and look into the camera as we answer these questions. So Kuji, what's your favorite type of salad?
Favorite type of salad is kale salad. It's really good, and I add a lot of different veggies in there, some avocado, some tomatoes, different things in there, and that's really like my favorite type of salad to make.
Boom. As you can see, can be a little jarring, but also can be used as a great tactic if you're really trying to connect with the audience, depending on the type of video you're trying to capture. Now that brings up another thing. We want to make sure that everybody feels as comfortable on camera as possible, and a lot of that comes from your prep work. Now I'd probably want to tell Kuji, make sure that you're sitting up straight throughout the entire process. I might make them aware that for a lot of interviews, people tend to wear makeup to make sure that they don't look shiny or have any blemishes that'll show up on camera. We want to make sure you tell them what colors to wear and what patterns might look good or might not look good on camera. These are all good pieces to prep your guests for before they get on camera. Now this has been the best interview techniques, and there's a whole lot more that I could go and dive in with you on this. We'll go ahead and we'll save that for another time. Let us know down in the comments section if you have any questions or would like to know more about it. Hey, what's up guys? Thank you so much for watching Best Practices of an Interview. Make sure you all like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Let us know what you guys want to learn more of. We're going to be making a ton more of these videos over the course of the next couple years. Love y'all. Peace.